cut back.
We say fight back.
They say cut back.
We say fight back.
They say cut back.
We say fight back.
Cut back.
Fight back.
Cut back.
Fight back.
Cut back.
Fight back.
Cut back.
Fight back.
All new tonight, the fight continuing over tax reform. The latest plan put forth by Republicans sending a shockwave through colleges across the country.
So what is this new tax reform plan that is proposed by the Republicans? It will actually affect a lot of graduate students across the country. This is going to try to tax us, a graduate student trying to get our degree, more taxes than we could afford right now. It could be very detrimental to our graduate education. What we're trying to do here is just make people aware of this problem, and we're trying to save our graduate education. Let's first start talking about what money graduate students actually get. So we get stipend every month. So we got stipend. This is usually we use this to pay for rent, buy food, and buy clothes. This money that we're getting, it's not much. It's about $15,000 per year. We have to pay a little bit of tax. So this is actually the money we're getting, and a little bit goes to paying our taxes as a good citizen. Okay, I mean, that's fair. You get money, you get some sort of source of income, you pay tax. Cool. There are other things that are going on here that we don't see is the tuition waiver that university gave us. So we're, as a graduate student, still a student, so we're still have tuition. However, because of the work and services that we're doing to the university as a graduate student, they gave us a waiver. So tuition can be, let's say, $33,000. This is the money that we never ever see. It's basically just within the university. Under the current tax plan, it is excluded from the taxable income, so we don't pay taxes at all here. However, under the new plan, what's going to happen is that become a taxable income. So basically now we're paying taxes for these tuition waivers, and as a consequence of that tiny itsy tax that we pay for the $15,000 tuition that we get earlier actually increases. And because of that, the amount of actual money that we're seeing from the stipend has actually become less and less. Let me give you another perspective for it. Here's the current tax plan calculation. This calculation was done by one of my colleagues here. So this is the current one where your income is $15,000, and then the maximum standard deduction you can get is $6,350, and your maximum personal exemptions is $4,050. So if you subtract these two to the income, you get your taxable income to be about $4,600, and then that comes into a 10% tax bracket, which gives your total tax liability to be $460. So what happened in the new plan? So in the new plan, you still have that $15,000, but now you get the extra $33,000, the tuition waiver that you've never seen, included as your income. And they increased the maximum standard deduction to $12,000 and cut out the personal exemption, so that's zero. So adding all this up and subtracting these deductions, our taxable income now is $36,000, and with the tax bracket of 12%, that is a total tax liability of $4,320. This number is 10 times more than that number, 10 times. So that's really not good. To put it in another perspective, let's actually see how much money we're seeing after all the taxes. So before we have $15,000, and then we're paying $460 in tax. So this is the current plan, and then that gives us about $14,540. Now under the new proposed plan, where that is now $4,300, and we're still only getting $15,000 of stipend. However, our tax that we have to pay now increases by a factor of 10 to $4,320, and that gives us only $10,680 to pay rent, buy food, buy clothes, really essential. The poverty line for one person household in the US is $12,060. This is definitely a lot less than that one. So basically then going to grad school will be a lot more expensive for us, and some of us are at risk of having to drop out of our program because of this. Really bad. So
a group of students at OSU planning a major rally Monday to speak out against the plan.
So behind me there, graduate students of the Ohio State University are gathering today to do a rally to make people aware of this proposed tax increase by the House that will significantly reduce graduate student take-home pay.
All of a sudden, that tuition could be taxed. You would be paying almost $5,000 in taxes, which is about a third of the current take-home pay level. So this is totally unacceptable to us. We'll see a massive tax increase under this proposed GOP tax bill.
Tax reform would stop treating our tuition waiver as something which is not included in terms of our taxable income, and now it wouldn't be included in our taxable income. In short, our taxes would increase by some obscene amount, 100, 200%.
I am just able to live with what I've got now, and I can't even take a second job to make up for it. Should this bill pass, I could not afford basic living expenses. There's a good chance that I would have to leave my program.
I'm here because the proposed plan would likely raise our raise the taxes that we pay by 100 to 200, 300%, depending on if you're in-state or out-of-state. And given the small incomes that graduate students already have, it would be really just detrimental to graduate education at large if students had to pay that much more money for such an extended period of time.
I really believe it. I believe we have the power to stop it. We will stand up and we will fight back. We are going to march down to the Union.
They say this bill has got to go. Hey, hey. They say this bill has got to go. Hey, hey. They say this bill has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This heinous bill has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This heinous bill has got to go.
Which is about $33,000 or so, right? is waived or highly subsidized. So that tuition is something the graduate students never see. Now imagine the proposal is to tax that tuition and to include it as part of taxable income. If you are making $20,000, now all of a sudden, and that's taxed, right, the stipend, now all of a sudden you're making $53,000 and you're getting taxed on that. But it's money you never see. It's bad enough to be taxed on money that you see and it temporarily lives in your bank account and you say hello and then on April 15th you give it up. That's bad enough. But imagine being taxed on money you never see. So that's the atrocity.